Georgia Public Broadcasting presents the 2007 Georgia High School Association Football Semifinals. Funding for this program is provided in part by Georgia Electric Membership Corporations, Wachovia, the Georgia Student Finance Commission, by viewers like you, and the Georgia High School Association, who wish to thank the Georgia Dodge dealers, State Farm, and Naturally Fresh for their support of GHSA athletic activity.
Live from the Georgia Dome, it's the GHSA Class AAA semifinal between the Carver Tigers, 13-0 from Region 2 AAA, versus the Chamblee Bulldogs from Region 5 AA or 5 AAA with a 12-1 record. This is Game 3 of 10 this weekend, all live right here on Georgia Public Broadcasting. There's a good crowd on hand, and the winner of this game advances to the state championship. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Tommy Palmer, and along with Ryan Chambers, we're set to bring you Game 3 between Carver and Chamblee. And there's some great athletes down on the field as the crowd begins to filter in to the Dome. Ryan, good to see you on this Friday afternoon for a great game.
Good to be here, Tommy. When we talk about Carver-Columbus, we talk about a lot of athletes out on the field. It should be a very good ball game.
A great ball game. Let's take a look at them.
Let's take a look. We'll start with that Carver team that we talked about. When you talk about the athletes that are going to be on the field, you talk about the quarterback, Jerron Fury. He's a dual threat guy, double-digit touchdowns on the ground, double digits through the air, 6'3", 215, the kind of size that you allow him with some of those athletes around him to pick you apart in the back at quarterback. He can certainly do that. And Jamar Fortson, the wide receiver, the senior, great hands at 6'3", his main target. Also, Tommy Fortson is the very, very big threat in the return game as well.
All right, we asked Coach Del McGee what we could expect from his Carver Tigers today.
On offense, we're going to run a spread offense. Our quarterback is our trigger man, and he has to do a lot as far as reading and getting us in the right situation. We're going to take what the defense gives us. If they put too many in the box, we're going to pass the ball. If they take too many out, we're going to run it. So it's just predicated on what the defense gives us. And on defense, we run a 50 defense, and our defense is led by our linebackers. Our D linemen try to keep the linemen off our linebackers and let our linebackers make a lot of plays. And our leader of our defense will be Jarvis Jones.
All right, that's a look at Carver. Now let's take a look at Chamblee, Ryan.
Yeah, Tommy, Chamblee is the kind of the Cinderella team, if you will, here under the Dome. I think everybody has really enjoyed this story. The coaches, though, they don't want it to end here. Certainly, they like to run that T option offense. And when you talk about Chamblee, you talk about Warren Norman, the running back, the junior. We just got through seeing the kid from ECI, and this is another special kid as a junior. 557 yards, 11 touchdowns. That's just in the playoffs through 3 rounds. 200 yards, 5 touchdowns over Westover in the quarterfinal win to get him here to the Dome. And then Ryan Smith on defense, the leader of that defense, 4 interceptions back in the backfield, 50-something tackles. He's really good against the run. He's good against the pass, and really the captain defensively back there for Chamblee.
We asked Coach Jim Schofferty, the first-year coach of the Chamblee Bulldogs, to set the stage for his team today.
Well, offensively, we have got to control the football. Obviously, you want to keep Carver's offense off the field. I think the best way we can do that is keep our offense on the field. We are predominantly a running football team, and we certainly hope to keep doing that this week. Defensively, I think we're going to have to be very, very disciplined. Carver is going to show us a lot of different offensive sets. We've got to be able to adjust, but I think we've just got to play very sound, disciplined football on defense to stay in this game.
All right, let's go down on the sidelines for the guy who's going to be up close and personal. Gerald Oliveri down on the sidelines for this great matchup.
Hey,
Gerald?
Thanks a lot, Tommy. You just heard from Coach Schofferty there. I got a chance to talk to him before the game, and he told me that when he addressed his team, he reminded them that this does not have to be the last chapter in their book. They may be a nice story, but they're also a good football team, and they got here by running the football and protecting the football. Now, on the other side, Coach McGee said that he was concerned about how his defense was going to handle the offense of Chamblee, because this is the first time they've seen an offense like that this season. Tommy, we should be in for a good one here today. Both teams are averaging about 40 points a game.
Get set for the kickoff.
This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
All right, here we are. Looks like a great matchup, Ryan. Chamblee, first time in 42 years in the state finals or state semifinals. And Carver, of course, came in last year and was eliminated.
Yeah, I think, Tommy, it's fair to say that you have two teams that, at least in the preseason, that were looked at very differently on paper outside of their communities, their respective communities, outside their respective locker rooms and coaching staff. Obviously, Carver-Columbus is a team that expected maybe to be here, not to say that Chamblee didn't, but maybe Chamblee inside that locker room may be the only people because of 42 years since the last time they got into this situation. But two different offenses, Tommy, but one thing remains the same. These are two explosive offenses and two teams that can put up a lot of points.
All righty, and it's going to be a dandy. These are two very good football teams. Carver-Columbus coming in 13-0. Chamblee at 12-1. All right, Carver defeated Mary Persons 46-6. Monroe of Albany 45-12. In a real tough matchup last week, Carrollton 14-7. That's how Carver came to the Dome.
Tommy, you got to think those Carrollton guys are probably going to be glad to see Duran Furr gone. That's the second time in a row that they've knocked him out at that point in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was a real war. And Carrollton, a very good football team, and of course Carver winning that one 14-7. Chamblee, here's how they got to the Dome. Flowery Branch fell 47-34. Stevens County in overtime. Not a track meet. That's a football game, folks. 58-57. And of course, last week, Westover 41-26. That to get to the Dome. I'll tell you what, these are two fine football teams. Carver, a fine football team, a real tradition being built by Del McGee, Ryan.
Yeah, it certainly is. And we look at Carver, you and I talked about it before the game, and Coach McGee, some of the influences that he had from former coaches from his various stops, and he's really done a very good job of bringing it to this Carver-Columbus program and really turning what, a lot of people see as other sports being their big sport and taking it to another level here with the football program.
Carlos Ross will kick it deep for Carver. Malcolm Billet is deep to receive in the center. Chamblee, of course, in the blue, and Carver in the solid white with the maroon trim. Deep kick down to the 9. Warren Norman. Back up to the 26-yard line. 17-yard return, and there is a lot of speed in this Chamblee backfield, Ryan.
Yeah, there is, and as we said in the intro, or tried to say in the intro, Tommy, Warren Norman is the man, the junior back there. He has turned all kinds of heads as there's almost a three-man monster back there.
All right, Garrett Williams calls the signals, 34 out of 58. Double wing formation, single setback, one wide receiver. A lot of motion today. Get used to that. The throw is complete, and a fumble, incomplete pass, I believe they're going to call it. Ryan on the reception. Up front, Napier, Uzi, Smith, Brown, and Tobias. That's the way they look up front. In the backfield, you've got Norman calling the signals, Jones, Giles, and Penn. Laughley, a dandy of a tight end. Keep your eye on number 40 today. Full wishbone set. One wide receiver. Counter trap to Warren Norman. Hole closed up in a hurry. Third down and about 9. All right, here's the other side of the ball. Carver up front, Washington, Martin, and Goldson. And the backers look like this: Williams, Riles, Jones, and Furr. In the secondary, Menzie, Alexander, Watts, and Smith. Third down and 9. Wishbone option. Nowhere to pitch, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. At the 29-yard line, Leron Furr on the defensive stop for Carver. 4th and about 6.5, maybe 7 now. Malcolm Giles stands back at the 15. Carlos Ross deep to receive back at the 30. Good snap. Not a bad kick. Got it to turn over. Let it hit. Ross going to pick it up. And head down the far sideline, pushed out of bounds over there. First down, Carver now. Get ready for this. Carver's all over the field. Don't adjust your sets at home. They're going to be in a lot of different formations. As we like to say, keep your eye on the ball. It's going to be fun. Duran Furr, 64 out of 104, over 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions in 13 games. First and 10, Carver-Columbus. Tigers up at the 41. 4 wide receivers. And a flag. Nothing like a start with 4 wide receivers, Ryan.
False start. Yeah. Offense.
False start, 5-yard penalty.
I don't know how much Chamblee has seen formations like that, and that's what we've been told by Carver. There's a lot of personnel going in and out and stacked right and left of Furr.
First and 15. 4 wides again. Low snap. Furr rolling, looking to throw. Really breaking tackles and heads down to the 41. Low snap, started terribly. Dakari Penn made the stop. Flag down on the play.
Back on the offense.
Here's another look at it. Furr nowhere to go, and then somewhere to go. Excellent individual effort.
A good chance of getting some one-on-one coverage for the athlete in Fortson.
Block in the back. Deep offense. Still first down.
First down. Play comes back.
To bring it all the way back, Tommy. It's a real shame for Carver to be able to maybe get some confidence and momentum, which is huge in front of a crowd playing in the Georgia Dome. It's always interesting to see how these teams react in such a big environment.
It's a big stage. Furr with 1 setback, 2 wides to the right, 1 to the left. Little sprint draw up across the 44-yard line. Jarquise Morgan on to carry. Up front for Carver, Hubbard and Banks at the tackles, Sellers and Mobley at the guards, Mills snapping it. All right, your running backs, Morgan, Fortson, Ross, Chin, the wide receivers, and Lewis, also the running back. Second down and about 7.5 or 8 to go. Good snap. And just an isolation quarterback draw. Duran Furr on the carry.
This Carver running game really is built upon not only the quarterback and Furr.
On the other side of the ball, Chamblee's got Laughley, that tight end, both sides of the ball. Stafford, Shepard, and Norman up front. The backers are Leffel, Smith, and Powell. And in the secondary, Henry, Berry, Baye, and Sills. Third down and about 4.5 from the 47. Furr with a single setback. Somebody moved up front. You could see the tilt on the left tackle as he raised up out of his 3-point stance.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. Rain, third down.
And there's Stephen Brennan, our official today. Eric Eason, Glenn Jones, Joel Moore, Kerry Jones, and Michael Lindsay make up our very efficient Coastal Official Football Association. Furr throwing complete. And out of bounds down at about the 31-yard line. Carlos Ross. What a nice throw by Furr, Ryan.
Yes, exactly, and he does such a good job at rolling out. You see he's keeping those shoulders square down the field, and so much personnel, Tommy. The wide receiver core, Ross, it's one of those guys that's way down there deep if you just look at the depth chart, but all of a sudden he gets a big catch and moving those chains down there for Carver.
1st and 10, nose of the ball just outside the 30. Ross, 6 receptions, 146 yards, almost 27 yards a reception this year. Excellent defensive stop by Chamblee as Jarquise Morgan heads off the left side. Very little there.
Talking about the senior Carlos Ross in the last play, he can line up all over the field.
Watch this. Brennan Buckner on the hit. Ooh. Hello, welcome to the Dome. 2nd and long. That one's going to sting tomorrow. 2 setbacks, 3 wide receivers. Going to try to run the option. Furr fighting his way back to the 35. And pretty much, Ryan, when you look at this, anytime Carver comes up with 5 front guys, 3 wideouts, and 2 setbacks, Chamblee's going to bring the kitchen sink.
Yeah, and you have 2 different options there, Tommy. You can either try and cover all the personnel that Carver's going to get out there, or like you see right here, Chamblee is going to bring that extra man in the box and try to apply pressure. You know, they like to say, you know, pressure will bust the pipes, and then maybe if you don't give Furr enough time back there, maybe you can apply that pressure, knock that play out of whack.
All right, here we go. 3rd and long. Single setback motion. The give to Carlos Ross. Cuts across to the 31. Chamblee very quick on defense.
The senior Ross, very good on special teams, really plays all over the field, as I was saying earlier, can line up anywhere. You might see him under center at times. You might see him at the running back position. There you see him on the end around, and Chamblee does very good staying patient, staying in their lanes.
4th and 11. Not many plays in the playbook for 4th and 11.
Not from this part of the field anyway. You usually got that punt if you're on the other side maybe.
At the 31-yard line.
The decision time, Tommy, for Coach McGee.
Send a wide receiver with a slot, a double slot actually, single setback, little protection in there. Flag down.
Dead ball. Play of the game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
As tough as it is to convert a 4th and 11, it's even tougher to convert 4th and 16.
Well, they spread those receivers out, and you may have seen Furr take off right up the middle. Could you start spreading that defense out? You find a little soft spot right there over the middle if you can get past the linebacker. But a quick 4'6" quarterback like Furr, boy, I mean, he is just impressive. Statistically, his size, his weight, his speed.
Very adept athlete. Good protection up front. Going to run the draw. Bounce off one tackler. Still going. Oh my. Here we go. Furr ran about 30 yards but got 6. Malcolm Billet on the stop.
Hey,
ran out.
Tommy, maybe the most impressive play I've ever seen come up 11 yards short of first down. Anybody else would have probably lost 10 yards. First, so impressive.
Welcome back to the Dome. No score. Carver-Columbus, nothing. And also Chamblee, nothing. Very athletic. Quick reminder for you fans with friends and relatives outside Georgia. This game is available live via the GPA website at www.gpb.org/football. First down, 10 to go. Chamblee at the 30. Break the bone. Run the second man through. Up across the 35 to the 36. Warren Norman on the carry. Norman, a scat back. He can go. If he breaks the perimeter, there's trouble on the defense. Second down and about 4 now. Gain of 6. Boy, he popped right through there. Second down, full wishbone. 1 wide receiver. And see ya. Darius Jones. That didn't take long, folks. That's what you call a well-designed play.
Also what you call a team that's not just settling to be here in the Dome, and that's option football at its best right there.
63 yards. Look at it. Hello. Goodbye.
Defensive end just collapsed right there on the give.
Great sprint. Behind Doan to attempt the point from placement. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Here's a good look at it. Everything collapsed on the left-hand side. Great blocking on the left-hand side. Makes it kind of easy, doesn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I thought it was going to be a very good matchup because Carver's athleticism, but sometimes you make the wrong guess because you're so athletic. And that time, just as any time that you're going to be defending the triple option, you've got to make that decision off the defensive end.
2 plays, 70 yards. You like those kind of scoring drives. 47 seconds. Jones on a 63-yarder. There is the young man. Chamblee breaks out early here, 7-0. Doan will kick it off now. Jermon Fortson back at the 2 in the deep position. Solid blue if you've just joined us. Carver of Columbus in white. Fortson takes it in the end zone. And Carver takes over at the 20. First down 10 at the 20. Any surprises from what your background told you, Ryan?
No, so far it's everything that we've been told it would be. Carver with all the personnel, all the athletes, at least the team built a depth to come back after going down early.
Wide spread formation. Draw play right up the middle. Jarquise Morgan found a hole across the left side up to the 39. Howell made the stop for Chamblee. I kind of get the feeling we may be going to see some high-powered offense.
Back and forth, and that's just a good left side of the offensive line, doing some great blocking, finding your guy, following that block downfield.
First down 10, Carver up at the 39-yard line. Duran Furr calling the shots. Not much there. Malcolm Chin on the carry. Let's go down to the sidelines. Gerald Oliveri. Gerald?
Hey, Tommy, one of the big things on that last run was the play of the offensive line. And the leader of that line is a Morgan Uzi, who's from Nigeria. He's a big player on that line. The coach said he's been everything that he can ask for in his first year here as the head coach. He immediately appointed him as the captain here in the summer because of his leadership and his impact on the team. And we just saw it there on that last play.
Thanks, Gerald. Second down and 11. Carver. Furr dropping to throw. Looking, throwing deep. Got a man out there. I believe we have an interception. Yes. Brennan Buckner. Bryant Henry.
We do have a flag back in the backfield. Looks like it's probably going to be holding, though. So looks like this one's going to stand.
Holding. Offense. Don't be declined. First down. Chamblee.
Yeah, you have to like the way the official said it. Here's another look at it. Furr rolling to throw. Cuts it loose. And there's the interception.
Just a little play action pass out of the shotgun formation. He had one-on-one coverage. Actually, 2 receivers downfield, but good defensive play in the defensive backfield for Chamblee.
Bryant Henry with the great interception there. Here's Chamblee, full bone. Got a block on the right-hand side. Darius Jones on the carry. Up to about the 27-yard line. Chamblee leading 7-0 on a 63-yard run. Second down and about 7.5. Break the bone. Toss sweep. Out of bounds up at the 40, and there's that quickness again. Warren Norman on the carry.
Let's take another look at that. We'll toss to the right. Good pursuit, but Norman is just so quick to be able to run away from a guy that had a pretty good angle on him coming right at the sidelines. That'll give you, Tommy, extra 4, extra 5 yards just because you can beat that good angle.
First down for Chamblee now, up at about the 40-yard line. Full bone, one wide receiver to the right.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
He's very plain spoken. A man of a few words.
I'll tell you what, though, Tommy, these teams are very excited. The broadcaster's excited to be here in the Dome in such a big stage. It's a big day for the officials, too.
It is a big
day. It's a very big day for the officials.
1st and 15 at the 35. Williams brings them up. Little counter trap. Warren Norman on the carry. Up to the 41.
Backdoor trap to Norman, and that's good play calling there because it gives Norman even another step, maybe step and a half, if the defense is leaning that way going with the misdirection. Like Norman, an athlete like that needs any more steps on a defense.
Quick, Jones and Smith on the stop for Carver. 2nd and 9 after a gain of 6. Chamblee is quick. Going to run the option, the true option, the pitch at the corner to Bahay. And Bahay crosses the 45 up to the 48 before Daquan Menzie brings him down.
A good tackle by McKenzie. Let's take another look at it. 2 interceptions, a block punt versus Mary Persons all over the field. 9 interceptions of the year, 4 fumble recoveries. A good tackle.
The thing that looks so great is that blocking up front. Chamblee gets tremendous offensive blocking at the point of attack.
And Tommy, that time it was Norman on this corner.
Yes. 3rd and 3. 2 tights and a broken bone. Speed toss to Bahay. I believe he got the first down. Norman on the carry.
Coach McGee, that just absolutely eats him up. You got Bruno Riles in the backfield, had the opportunity to make the tackle, and sometimes with this kind of offense you're seeing in Chamblee, you might only get one opportunity.
All right, it's Baya. My apologies. Baya instead of Bahay. Baya. First down, 10. At the 47, full wishbone. Chamblee marching once more. Excellent defense as Jones gets the handoff across the 45.
was taking a look at the defense. Carver's playing as we see this hit coming into your TV.
Excellent tackle up high.
But you notice Carver starting to creep, the secondary's creeping closer and closer to that line of scrimmage as that run game becomes more prevalent.
Full bone, 2nd and 9. Counter dive, or the fake of the counter dive. Warren Norman off to the right side.
Good tackle by Watts there on the perimeter.
Welcome back to the Dome. Chamblee leads it 7-0. Chamblee, 63-yard touchdown run midway through the first quarter. Now they're driving again. Flag flies in up at the 41-yard line. Warren Norman, the ball carrier.
Looked like we had a little movement back in the backfield.
Well, there was movement. Then he came to a stationary point, but it's too late at that point. It's too late. The officials, I got you.
Legal motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
3rd down and 10 now. Chamblee really moving the ball here. They are so quick in the backfield. These running backs are unbelievable, Ryan.
Yeah, they are. This defense from Carver also impressive, at least on this drive, trying to keep them out of their neck of the woods.
Garrett Williams brings them up from the 45-yard line. 3rd down, 10 now. Broken bone. Childs. Complete to the Curry pin. Out near the 43-yard line.
Williams maybe overshadowed in this game at the quarterback position, but that time, you take a look at that play, that was probably his 3rd or 4th outlet as you saw him drop back into pass in the play action, went through his progression of receivers.
4th down now and about 6. Giles to kick it away, standing back at the 44. Carver going to let it bounce and roll, or they're coming after it. Low snap.
Get out of bounds. Get out of bounds.
Driving kick. Out of bounds, down at around the 13. Very effective kick that time by Chamblee. Let's go down to the sidelines once more. Here's Gerald Oliveri.
Hey, Tommy, on the way up yesterday, Carver actually stopped by region rival LaGrange to practice on their field turf, which is kind of ironic that Coach Pardue would have open arms for their region rival. They went up there and about 35 of the team members practiced there. Then the rest of the team came up today. It hasn't actually translated into success, but we'll see how that works out going throughout the rest of the game, Tommy.
Great gesture between region rivals. 1st down, 10 now for Carver from their own 13. Duron Furr on the sprint draw up to about the 15 to Jarquise Morgan.
Several great running backs. You got the sophomore Devin Lewis, 10 carries, 11 touchdowns. He's averaging 10 a carry. And then you got Morgan. Joshua Chin, just a sophomore. 77-yard touchdown the opening round against Mary Persons.
2nd down and 8. Furr brings him up. Good snap. Rolling, looking to throw. Got a man out there. Complete. Jarmon Fartson up at about the 43-yard line. Excellent throw. There's one thing that you have to notice about Duron Furr. He's not afraid to move around and throw the ball on the run.
No, he's not, Tommy. And a lot of these guys very athletic kid like that. It's very quick. Sometimes he's more comfortable on the run, maybe cutting the field in half, so to speak, going half to sidelines as we take another look again. See how he gets those shoulders square downfield?
Great throw.
Great catch, too.
As well, yes. First down 10, Carver now up at the 43. Moving the receivers around. Furr looks over a 4-man front. Looking deep. Got a man out there again. Complete to Jermaine Fortson. Touchdown. "57-yard touchdown pass from Deron Furr to Jermaine Fortson. And it's a new ball game.
Just slipped behind the defense. That's all it was.
Here we go. Fortson, straight vanilla shotgun formation. Immediate success. Extra point is no good. Chamblee 7, Carver 6. We've got ourselves a ball game. It looks like Carver has definitely opened it up here offensively. Look at Furr here. Deron Furr, just a basic stand-in drop-back throw. Looked like a post pattern for Fortson.
Yeah, Furr, and not the tunnel vision was there, but you had a feeling he knew who he wanted to go to, and Fortson had already slipped behind the defense at that point.
3 plays, 87 yards, a minute and 10 seconds. Fortson, 57-yard touchdown reception. I tell you, the touchdown drives we've had today have taken about a total of 2 minutes, both of them.
Yeah, this thing could become a track meet. 2 catches, 85 yards. Holy cow!
That's what you call overcoming field position.
And I've heard the grapevine these 2 kids might be going to the same school next year, the college ranks. So you may be seeing that combination many more times after this season.
Here's the kick. Deep at the 10. Baya trying to find somewhere to go. Caught and thrown. Back at about the 8. Daquan Menzie on the cover. Field position, though, does not really seem to bother either one of these football teams, Ryan.
No, 2 plays, 85. Right down the field. Don't need a whole lot of field position.
Good coverage. Very good coverage.
Look at the speed of Carver. Stay in your lanes, and that's exactly how you do it. And Menzie's quick, too.
Carver has got some kind of speed on their kick cover team. Here comes Chamblee from their 10. Williams sends a man in motion. Quick trap, not much there. Darius Jones on the carry.
Just stacking that box for Carver.
Bruno Riles, one of the first ones in there.
Trying to find that lane, try not to get too fouled up at watching the fullback come through. Pitch man going off to the left.
Gain of 3. Second down and 7 from the 13. Williams looks over a 4-man front. Going to run the true option. Going to pitch to Jones. Tries to make the corner. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1. Alex Williams up first to knock him down.
Hit him immediately back in the backfield. Might make Coach McGee feel a little bit better about that last missed opportunity they had coming the other way.
Excellent pursuit on the true option out of the bone. 3rd and 6. Carver up in that 4-4. Oh my, excellent blocking up front. Malcolm Giles. Excellent blocking. 3rd and about 6 or 7, and he rumbles up to the 25, does Giles.
You want to know how tough Giles is as a fullback? A slim 180 pounds, very fast. He's good out of the backfield. You can't just key in on Norman. You can't key in on some of these tailbacks. Giles, and he can catch out of the backfield as well.
Well, you've got Baya, Norman, Jones, and Penn. They can all fly. Broken bone. Williams, toss to Norman. Not much there. Excellent defense. Jonathan Martin, one of the first ones over there. Bruno Riles becoming very active on the defensive side of the ball.
Impressive. Chamblee runs this option, has so many formations. That time, just a buck sweep out from the wingback.
2nd down and 9. Full bone, one wide receiver. Tight end side of the field to the wide side. Jones on the carry. Not a lot there. A lot of white jerseys on their right side. We've got us a good one here. 3rd down and 5. The one thing the wishbone offense does, it takes time off the clock.
Yes, it does. Burn some time.
Williams. Motion. True option. Turns it up. Twist and turn. Helmet flies out of there. Michael Goldson and Daquan Menzie on the stop.
So much talk about these offenses. Boy, Carver, impressive on defense. I know they give up the big run to a guy, Norman. That's going to happen. Kid's good. Very impressive defensively on this drive.
Fourth and short. Giles to kick it away. Ross is deep to receive for Carver. Good snap. Great kick. Ross at the 27. Breaking the tackle. In big trouble back at the 15.
Good pursuit. The fullback back deep punting. Boy, he's just impressive punting the ball as he is in the backfield.
I'm telling you. Great.
So impressive, and it's so important at the high school level to have a good punter, to be able to keep that field of possession that you were talking about staying in your favor.
It's 1st down now at the 15.
Take another look. He didn't have a whole lot to go, a whole lot of places to go. Reverse field, that's not what you want to see. About 5 blue shirts out there in front of you.
All right. Welcome back to the Dome, where it's Chamblee 7, Carver 6. You would think with the offensive fireworks we've seen on the 2 scoring plays, we would have a different score, but it's 7-6. Actually, a pretty doggone good defensive game, Ryan.
Yeah, we talked about the defenses of both of these teams. Carver's opening win over a good Mary Persons team with Caleb Wilds at quarterback. A couple of block punts, a couple of interceptions, and the defense heckled the offense the 2nd week of the playoffs, preparing all week during practice, Coach was saying.
Deron Furr to Ross. Ross at the corner, got a block. And a flag goes down back at about the 15, but Furr cut across there and knocked down by Dakari Penn.
Getting back to that story, it was funny to talk to the people from Carver, talking about how it was fun to watch the defense just get all over the offense, because that's such an impressive performance in game 1, the win in the 1st round over Mary Persons. Kind of, nudge the offense a little bit.
On the offense, half the distance to go. Still 1st down.
Just say, come on, guys, don't make us work so hard.
Half the distance to the goal. But as we said, obviously field position not important to either one of these teams. Poor field position doesn't seem to really bother either one of them, Ryan.
Yeah, and they come out, Carver does, in that diamond set with the 4 receivers stacked to one side, and they get Fortson one-on-one. And what do you do if you're a defense? Chamblee has really defended some of these formations about as good as you can, but at some point, one of these athletes is going to get one-on-one, and Fortson, unfortunately for Chamblee, is the guy that's a lot of times going to do it.
It's a good thing both sides of the ball has a lot of speed. There's no particular speed advantage. Furr going to run the draw. Speaking of speed advantages, flag goes down. My, can he run? Just for the record, it's 93 yards. It's going to be called back. There was a flag down on the play, but what a run.
With Chamblee, it's just like I said, going back to the original point, Tommy. Sometimes you get in that man-to-man coverage against the personnel, and all you can do is do coverage downfield. But when you have an athletic quarterback that runs 4.6, you know, a busted play like that turns into a 90-yard gain. Chamblee was step for step, one-on-one.
The amazing thing about this.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty.
Half the distance to the goal, I would assume, on this one as well, which would put it about the 3.5.
No, but you got to have confidence if you're Carver, though.
Look at this run. Furr just running the sprint draw right up the middle, and it's speed. That's what it is, folks.
Watch
Look at
that
this.
going to the corner. Unbelievable. He picks up a good block there. Fortson going down. Watch him put his hands up right here at the end. No block in the back here. Of course, he hadn't seen the flag behind him.
Touchdown.
Look at that angle.
Look at the hole open at the middle. Whoops, the official. Good block right there. Great block. That's what opened it up. What a great block. We're at the 22. So obviously from the point of the infraction, the penalty. Furr across the left side. Actually, Fortson. Obviously, they're running the Arkansas Wildcat formation.
And we talked about that in the pregame. In the intro, Tommy, Fortson can line up. He'll be all over the field, but it's fun to see how Chamblee responds defensively. They walk that linebacker up, maybe try to spread out that 5-man front there, and still, because of the speed of Carver, able to get to the sidelines.
Well, with a 93-yard run, I'm sure that young Mr. Duron Furr
probably
needed a break.
A break, and well-deserved break he got.
93 yards is 93 yards. What a great, exciting run. First down now from the 32-yard line. On the draw, Jarquise Morgan. Up close to the 36-yard line. Chamblee playing well on defense here. Just some big plays for Carver and some big plays for Chamblee. Both sides are playing extremely well. 2nd and 7, gain of 3.
He's over there, coach. He's just winded.
That's the inside look you want right there.
There you go.
Get that man over here.
The draw once more. If he doesn't slip, he scores.
Yeah, he might.
Jarquise Morgan, yes.
Morgan might have very well found pay dirt there had he not eaten up with that carpet monster out there.
The interesting thing about this type surface when you play, it actually increases your speed. You have, a better speed burn, and it's not like either one of these teams really need any speed advantage, Ryan.
Yeah, no kidding. Looking at Morgan, 700 yards, 10 touchdowns, the leading receiver on a team that really gets first down there. It gets so much of the hype built around the receivers and Furr back there tossing it around. But not lose sight. It's a very, very good running team, and especially when you're splitting all those guys out there. You thin that defense out. You give an athletes like Morgan, like Lewis, like Chin, the sophomore, some room to run.
See the concern on Coach Shofety's face as he walks the sidelines down there. Duron Furr, left side, breaks yet another tackle. Up across the 45, up to about the 47-yard line. Ryan Smith on the stop for Chamblee.
You can tell some of the defensive backs from Chamblee are a little timid, I think, when Furr rolls out the pass. You saw Fortson getting behind the defense, getting behind the cornerback, because you really don't know. Is he going to keep the ball around the corner? Is he going to take off, or is he going to step up and pop it like he did on the touchdown to Fortson? And that's just, you got to get a feel, because these two teams haven't seen each other this season. Just got to get a feel for watching the offense.
2nd down now and 6. Furr going to run the draw again. Got a good block up front. Did Morgan. Very close to a first down. Maybe a little shy. Carver obviously would like to keep the ball away from Chamblee, and Chamblee would like to keep the ball away from Carver. Both of them are very explosive offensive football teams, but to be realistic, both of them have played very good defense today. Third down and a short one. Furr missed the handoff. Fumble. Chamblee's got it. At the 48. Terrence Leffall.
Just a good heads-up play there. And as you see, the defense, you can see a lot of them immediately recognizing the ball hit the carpet. Right there. Just pop loose.
Switching hands. Here it is again. Furr. Popped down.
Just put that ball on the hip. How about that? Just put it right there on the hip. Chamblee, that's the lucky break.
First down, 10 Chamblee. Norman, not much there.
And a lot of the talk leading up to this week, Tommy, was about turnover. Chamblee put it on the ground, turned it over 5 times in the win in the quarterfinals. Warren Norman goes for over 200 yards and 5 touchdowns on himself. The coaching staff talks so much about it, but you know, you don't want to over talk about it. You don't overdo it, and this time Carver's the first one to put it on the ground.
Second down and 9. Gain was 1. Carver coaching staff over there very concerned with Chamblee with the ball. Garrett Williams dropping straight back to throw. Got a man out there, in and out of his hands, down at the 28-yard line. Darius Jones, the intended receiver, wide open between 2 defenders down the far sideline.
It looked like initially he wanted his receiver. He had two routes, had one going right down the middle, had the flag route, the 7 route going over the middle. Excuse me, first one down the sidelines. It looked like he was wanting to take one deep over the middle, as you'll see. Let's take a look at the way he's looking downfield.
Look at there. Almost pulled it in. Ooh, that hurts. That's got to sting.
Didn't hear the footsteps either. He had his complete back turn.
Jones, the intended. Yeah, Jones, the intended receiver. Williams dropping back to throw again. Going to run a little screen to Norman. Got a block. Norman knocked down at about the 26-yard line by Daquan Minzy.
That's what a screen is designed to do, Tommy. Brings the defensive personnel, lets them go, and follow the quarterback, Williams. And then Norman's got wide open spaces right in front.
Timeout. Chamblee, first charge, timeout.
Chamblee, great look at the screen again. Just slipped out of there, avoided one, and turned on the afterburners. You really like to see these kids that have the speed do the things that they do when they get the football in their hands. Boy, I'll tell you what, this Norman kid can go. It's viewers like you that help make great local programs like these high school football games possible on GPB. To show your support, simply call one of the numbers on your screen or visit our website at www.gpb.org/support. And thank you for supporting Georgia Public Broadcasting. For 2 very offensive-minded football teams, we've got us a barn burner defensively, Ryan, 7-6.
It is a good game. Look at the fans. The fan support has been tremendous here through the first 3 games today, Tom. It's always big, you know, especially when you have a team and coming from Columbus, you got one right here in your own backyard. Great game. I just sat down for the first time. I've been standing up this entire game, didn't even realize it.
You're not excited, are you?
No, I'm not at all.
Okay. First down and 10. The only enemy of Chamblee right now would be the clock. 23 seconds left in the half. But they still have timeouts left. Williams dropping back. Looking and faking. Caught and thrown back at the 28 or the 29. Jarvis Jones on the defensive stop. 7 seconds left. I wonder if young Mr. Doan is out of his range as a field goal. Great coverage by the Carver secondary.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. You're going to have a host of guys from Carver that take credit for that pursuit. But let's give credit to Bill Alexander back there in the secondary. It's a coverage sack, as they like to call it.
That's a coverage sack. But that front four of Carver is very active, and the backers as well, and the deep secondary. It's very difficult when you cut the size of the field of the playing area in half. You're not going to get anybody open very often.
No, not with coverage like that. Alexander, the corner pattern, step for step with him.
All right, you've got 2nd and long, but that really doesn't matter. You've got time for one more play. Chamblee leading 7-6, and I don't think they're going to do anything out of the ordinary. They may give it a shot for the end zone, or they may be discussing, can we kick it from here?
Tommy, if you're not going to do anything high percentage, you definitely want to put it into the end zone, or at least close to it. So you don't want to turn the ball over right here at the 30. It's a good spot if you want to launch one into the end zone. Williams looks like at times when he has dropped back and had the opportunity to sit back in the pocket to throw, with his team that's run out of the wishbone, not going to do it a whole lot, but he looks like comfortable back there. Watch the fullback there. Good hands back there. You might want to see him slip out.
Here's Williams. Now, Carver actually wanted to see what they were going to set up.
Timeout. Carver. First timeout.
And that's their first timeout of the half. Amazing. Pride of Our Nation, an episode from the film epic The War, airs this Sunday at 7 p.m. here on GPB. The Ken Burns film focuses on the stories of citizens from 4 American towns and their memories of the invasion of Europe in 1944. That's Sunday at 7 here on GPB. Second and long, but 7 seconds left in a half.
Coach McGee is probably thinking, what is the receivers doing out there for Chamblee? This isn't the way we're supposed to see this drawn up.
Obviously, Chamblee does not like the deep snap at all. They've kept Williams, the quarterback, up under center all half.
That's a comfort thing. I mean, it's really a comfort thing.
Sure.
You'll see as on the other side, Furr very comfortable out of the shotgun, able to move him around in the pocket, move him out of the pocket.
All right, full bone set, 2 tight ends. They may just see if they can pop one here. Williams with just a power smash. And they're going to call timeout. Malcolm Billet on the carry.
You got a guy like Warren
Timeout.
Norman.
Chamblee. That's the 3rd charge timeout.
Get the blocking right up ahead, and you may be, you may have your own home run version, a home run ball from the option.
Well, let's see. If they were doing what I think they were doing, which is not a given, they may have been trying to move the ball over from the hash mark a little bit here to give the place kicker a shot at a field goal here on the last play of the half.
Maybe. Let's see. There was no math major. That'd be a 42-yarder?
Yep.
How about that? I bet my mother's proud back in Milledgeville.
42-yard field goal. It's possible. All right, let's see what they do. The surprise was that Chamblee called timeout. Obviously, they've got a play they think will work. Yep, there he is. Nahan Doan. 42-yard field goal attempt. He is a lefty. Garrett Williams will hold. .37 is his long for the year. He's 2 out of 3. It's a 42-yarder. If this penalty doesn't take place.
Encroachment. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
This makes it a little comfortable. Now it's from 37.
It's a 37-yarder now.
The confidence starts creeping in here.
Williams will hold. He'll hold it at the 27. It's a 37-yarder. Doan is 2 out of 3, as we told you. He's hit one from here before, 37 yards. Good snap. Good hold. It is good. That's an exclamation point to the half, my friends. 37-yard field goal by Nahan Doan. Chamblee takes a 10-7 lead. That's positive. Let's take a look at it again.
The left footer, the left sweeping, natural progression, a natural sweep will take it to the right, but he really hooked it the other way. How about that?
All right, here's Gerald Oliveri down on the sidelines with Coach Shafferty.
You got to cue me when they go. This thing died on me. Hey, how's it going, Tommy? I'm here with Coach Shafferty. You got off to a good start with the long run. Just talk about what that meant for your team to get off to such a good start here.
Well, Joe, I think it gave us some confidence, but we've got to continue to execute on offense. We're missing some blocks out on the perimeter. We had a costly penalty on 3rd and 5, and I just hope we're going to keep plugging away second half.
Now, for two teams that all, they average a lot of points, this has certainly been a defensive struggle.
We knew they had a great defense, and our defense has really stepped up today. We certainly hope we can make some open field tackles. They can really run the ball, but our defense has done a great job thus far. We want to keep it going second half.
All right, well, good luck in the second half, Coach. Let's send it back up to you, Tommy.
10-6, Chamblee over Carver at halftime. Let's go down to the field and enjoy the Carver High School Marching Tigers under the direction of Hugh Moffitt, with drum major Andre Davis leading a band membership of 75 with Can You Feel It? Enjoy it. Yes. All right, let's go downfield. And here's Gerald Oliveri. Gerald?
Hey, thanks a lot, Tommy. I'm here with Hugh Moffett. You're like a veteran here. This is your second year here. What have you learned difference between last year's performance and this year's performance?
Okay, well, I learned a lot of things. The feeling is always here, and now it's nothing new to me. But first of all, let me say I'd like to thank Coach McGee and also the coaching staff and the team for bringing us back to the Dome again.
Now let's talk about your performance right there. I heard a little Jay Holiday bid. Just talk about some of the songs you had in there in the performance.
Okay, well, this is a special show for the team. You know, we start off with like Pitches to Bed, a little slow ballad for the featuring auxiliary team, and then Jump Start, which really featured the Tiger Rex. And then that last routine is something by the band. They do like a nice little dance step for you, and it's all for the team.
Now you've been here about 11 years. Tell me how you've seen the program grow over that time.
Oh man, it's been growing great because, you know, like, let me remind you this. We always start out with the marching season, go right into concert season. It's a year-round program.
Yes.
It's never stopped, and the program gets better and better and bigger and bigger.
All right, well, what do you think about the team there in the first half?
Oh, man, hey, listen, we're going to do what we have to do, okay? I'm going to put it just that way because we got pride, the team got pride, and we're here to take care of business.
All right, well, thanks for spending some time with us. We'll send it back up to Tommy and get ready for the Bulldog Marching Band.
Thank you, Gerald. And that was a great performance at halftime. We are at halftime. It's 10-7. Chamblee over Carver. Back with the Chamblee Marching Band in just a moment. Halftime. It is 10-6. Chamblee over Carver. Let's go down and enjoy the Chamblee High School Marching Band, the Bulldogs. Ralph G. Gutierrez is the director, assisted by Brian Ely. Drum majors Chelsea Wyrich and Joya Clayton lead this band number 84 member group. Yes. Let's go downstairs to Gerald Oliveri.
Hey, thanks a lot, Tommy. Now, of course, we got first-year head coach Jim Schofferty for Chamblee, but we also have a first-time band director here, Ralph Gutierrez. Just talk about what this whole experience has been like for you.
This is like earth moving. We're setting precedents here. This is also history for us, and we're really excited to be here, especially for the first time.
And let's talk about some of the performance. Oh, yeah, come on by. I saw the Thriller in there. Just talk about how proud you are of your band.
We wanted to bring a little flavor to Chamblee High School. Before, we never had that opportunity, but now we're doing a little something different than we did last year.
Now, just talk about the support that you're getting here from the fans. They went crazy when they saw the Thriller.
Listen, the lady behind the whole thing is our principal, Mrs. Lowry. She brings all this to us. We've got the crazies out here. We've got this great bands, which we love.
All right, well, thanks a lot. That was a really good performance. Let's send it back up to Tommy and get ready for the second half.
All right, Gerald, thank you. Let's take a look at those first half highlights. They were some dandies. Big plays all over the place. Darius Jones with a 67-yard touchdown run. Didn't take him long to get there, did it, Ryan?
No, and we talked about Warren Norman so much. Forgot about Jones lurking there in the backfield.
Duran Furr to Jarman Fortson. What a great catch. What a great throw here. 57-yard touchdown. Another bomb. And then here's the field goal kick by Nahan Doan. 37 yards right down Main Street. And that's your scoring in the first half. 10-6. Chamblee with the lead. Get ready for the second half kickoff coming up next here on GPB. Here we go. Let's take a look at the score. 10-6. Passing yardage, 85 passing yards for Carver, 44 for Chamblee. Rushing yardage, you can see the dominance of Chamblee here with the big touchdown, 122-26. Total yardage, 166-111. Penalties, 3 for 28 against Carver, 2 for 10 against Chamblee. 2 turnovers for Carver. Look at the time of possession. Pretty close, 13:31 to 10:29. That's the way it looks here at halftime, 10-6. Get ready for the second half kickoff coming up next. Welcome back to the Dome. 10-6 at halftime. Chamblee over Carver. Let's go down to Gerald Oliveri with Dell McGee, the coach of Carver.
All right, Coach McGee, before the game, you mentioned that you were kind of concerned about how your defense will handle the wishbone. Outside of that one play, it seemed like they handled it pretty well.
Yes, sir. We had that one mishaps on that one play where a guy got inside. He should have stayed outside. And our biggest concerns really on offense. We committed 3 turnovers, making foolish penalties. So we just got to calm down and play football this second half.
Now, you have a great run offense, but ironically, you did most of your damage through the air.
Well, they're taking the run away from us, so hopefully our quarterback and our line can hold up protection so we can get some balls off because they're keeping about 8 in the box and daring us to throw. So we're going to just see what happens and finish the football game.
All right, well, good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Gerald. Ryan, good first half, my friend.
Yeah, it was. It certainly was at 10-6. And you know, I started scratching my head, Tommy, in halftime thinking, you know, it seemed like Carver didn't get the type of opportunities that maybe Chamblee did. But the funny thing was, if you take a look at it, they had almost 3 more full minutes of time of possession, so they won that battle. But if you look at the stats, it's the turnovers and it's the penalties that really took them out of some good situations in the first half, at least offensively.
I really feel like that the difference in the ball game has been the rushing yardage. Carver throws the ball well. They haven't rushed it well so far.
No doubt, no doubt. And if Chamblee wants to continue the success, they'll do what they did in the first half pretty well, and that's keep Furr tied up in the backfield.
Yeah. Doan will kick it off. Had the field goal at the end of the half. Good line drive kick into the end zone. Fortson, who has already shown his speed prowess, takes it into the end zone. First down, Carver-Columbus. And quite honestly, Ryan, here, Carver needs to make something happen. The first 5 minutes of the second half, the first 5 minutes of the ball game are always key possession points in a ball game.
Yeah, and you know, again, you don't, as Coach McGee said, you don't want to turn it over. None of the silly mistakes that Coach McGee alluded to. And you want to get some confidence. And we talked about the field position battle. You want to get that ball past the 50, play on their side of the field in the second half. Try and keep the ball, you know, moving into their own end zone.
Duran Furr brings them up. Same full set, 2 wide receivers, 1 setback. Going to run just a sprint draw from the quarterback. Up across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Barry Stafford made the stop. Had some help from Taylor Loftley. 2 out of 3, 85 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's the way Duron Fur performed in the first half. He had a good first half. Had that great run that was called back. 2nd down and 6 now. Up at the 24. Fur with the direct snap. A lot of traffic there. Taylor Loftley.
You see Penn in the other corner for Chamblee on the other side, staying step for step with the receivers. And you see, and watch next time when they spread that formation out, Chamblee is walking very close to the line. They're not giving the receivers a whole lot of steps, as you see here on the replay. He's looking down that right sideline, but Penn had really wrapped up the receiver going down the sideline.
Very active front four for Chamblee. There's a lot of quickness up front. Undersized maybe when you look at defensive front fours, but they're holding their own with quickness. Fur takes the deep snap. 5 wide receivers going to run the draw and get up about the 28-yard line. Excellent defensive pursuit by Loftley and the Leffel.
That Snead, number 25, lines up in the slot. And I don't think that was a design draw. So if you'll see, Snead comes across the middle. He brings the defender exactly where Fur took off up the middle. I think Fur just kind of saw a breakdown, decided to take off, which he can do so well. He's proven that.
Yeah, Chamblee brought heat from the outside, looped it in there. Fortson back at the 16. Kick it away. Line drive kick. That's a dangerous kick. Norman on the return up to midfield. Chamblee with good position here to begin the second half, Ryan.
Yeah, they do, certainly getting it to the 50. Their kicker proved that they can get points if they move it at least, you know, another 25, 30 yards downfield. They have the opportunity to set up. And the confidence that gives your head coaching staff and those guys at Schofield at Chamblee to know that, you know, you don't not necessarily have to score the touchdown, though everybody wants it on every drive, that if you can get it and win that time of possession.
Look at Garrett Williams, 2 out of 2, 17 yards. 1st and 10 at midfield. A lot of motion. Williams going to run the option and be thrown down. Jarvis Jones first up to meet him after a gain of about 2. The true option is a thing of beauty if you pitch at the right time or if there's an opportunity to pitch. But that time, not an opportunity to pitch.
Going to the short side of the field, it looked as though the tailback and Williams just got a little maybe bunched up and ran out of room there turning the corner.
Full wishbone set, 2 tight ends. Garrett Williams looks over an 8-man front. Got a little seam. Norman down to the 37 or the 38. You know, on the 2 or 3 occasions, Ryan, that Chamblee has lined up in the true 2 tight end full wishbone set, they go up the gut. Yeah, they block it well.
Yeah, Tommy, as we see here on the replay, I was going to say that exact same thing. When you get that big set up front, you bring those linebackers in a little bit closer, and Norman's got that speed that if you have that second level of defense just that much closer, you don't want to see him get behind it.
The dangerous thing about an 8-man front is if they break the perimeter, it's Powder River. Yes. 2 tights again. Chamblee obviously feels like they can run it right at him. Gonna twist and turn is Williams. Somebody shot through there. LaRon Fur defensively. Not much gain there. Gain of a couple. True wishbone read down the line. Have to eat it there. Nothing there. Handful of jersey. Boy, Carver does pursue defensively.
And LaRon Fur just does not commit. Goes step for step, almost spying Williams down the line of scrimmage.
Very active defense for Carver. A lot of speed for Chamblee. Rolled up another backer to make it a 5-man look there. Bayah cuts it across the left side. Not much there. You begin to feel Carver feels some anxiousness here on defense because Chamblee is moving the ball, and this is not something that you want to happen because you make adjustments at halftime and you hope that what you've adjusted to works.
Yep. Malcolm Bea, the senior, 2:1.36 in the 200 meter. I didn't run the 200 meters, so I'm assuming that's good. It's tops in the state. So.
He's got some national times there. 3rd and about 5. Break the bone. 1 wide receiver. Motion again. Williams going to run the trap right up the middle to Malcolm Giles. He is very close to a first down.
We talked play calling, and that time we were watching that linebacker core moving closer and closer. That time you saw him take a step back. You say, take a look. Just a perfect time to run the trap right up the middle because you almost suited a perfect play for the yardage that you need. Almost a counter track coming back the other way.
I'm going to tell you something, folks. There's some serious work going on in the trenches up there between this offensive line of Chamblee and the defensive line of Carver. They are getting after it pretty doggone good, I'll tell you now. 1st down and 10. First and 10. Williams option, turn it up and down to the 23. Jarvis Jones on the stop there.
Did you see Uzi take up into the secondary? Hit that first block, almost a chip block from the right side that heads into the secondary. Boy, number 77, you do not want to see him steamrolling you if you're maybe a defensive back on that. That kid benches 400 pounds, 6'3", 300-pound right tackle.
The thing you like about Garrett Williams is he really protects the ball. He reads that defense. This is not a pre-designated call, people. He is reading the defensive end. Motion, Williams. And that's what happens when you read it properly. Malcolm Giles.
Read to perfection. As you said, Tommy, read to perfection. A fullback, a 180-pound fullback that's quick.
Watch this read right here to the fullback. Whoops, hello.
Coach McGee's not going to like the tackling there.
The thing that you like is
3.
Yeah. Amazing. He's reading everything. This is not pre-designated calls from the sideline. This young man's reading this wishbone. 8-man front. Going to bounce outside. Touchdown. Warren Norman.
Second effort, Tommy pounding over the right side, right behind that big part of the offensive line, and big number Uzi, number 77. 5 touchdowns in the quarterfinals, 200 yards for the junior Warren Norman.
Doan will attempt the point after. Kick is up and the kick is good. 17-6, Chamblee over Carver. Let's take a break. We'll be back at the Dome in just a moment. Chamblee 17, Carver 6. I wouldn't call it a long enduring drive. It was a methodical 50-yard drive, Ryan.
Right down the field with that option attack. 8 plays, 49 yards, 4 minutes and 15 seconds. It keeps Mr. Duran Furr and Fortson and crew on the sidelines. Maybe even more important than that, capping it off with a touchdown over the right side for Norman.
And Giles had 2 big carries on that drive to help get him down there. Doan to kick it away. And Fortson deep to receive, back at about the 7 or 8. Very nice drive by Chamblee. Holy smokes, what a kick. That's a big-time kick. Big-time kick, Ryan.
Yeah, somebody's fired up out there, ain't he, Tommy?
I believe some adrenaline's pumping somewhere. Listen, you get a 37-yard field goal and 2 extra points. You feel pretty good about yourself as a kicker.
And you do it 42 years removed from the last time you were in this position.
There you go.
In front of this crowd from Chamblee.
They are pumped, wouldn't you say?
They are fired up.
All right, first down 10 now. Furr, 4 wide receivers to the right. Little hitch screen. Excellent pursuit. Pass complete to Carlos Ross. Brennan Buckner on the cover and the tackle.
Well, you throw those hitch screens out there, Tommy, because you want to loosen up that defense a little bit. Buckner, good game tackle. Taking the proper technique is so important.
I didn't see a lot of loosening by the Chamblee defense. Look at the pursuit here.
Might not have done exactly what you wanted.
Excellent pursuit. Great tackle. When you get those speed burners out there one-on-one, you have to bring them down in a hurry before they get the head of steam. Furr dropping straight back to throw. Got a man out there, complete. 2 men in the same area. I don't know whether if it was a mistake, but it was a great one. Emilio Johnson on the carry. I'm not sure if he was throwing to Malcolm Chin or the other receiver, but somebody caught it.
It was a crossing pattern. That's a deep crossing pattern.
That was
it worked.
Yeah, deep cross. Look at this. Whoops. Hello.
And I'm not quite sure if he was the intended receiver as well, and you knew you wanted to go to the left. It's a good 3-step drop. Standing strong in the pocket.
Let's call that a vicinity completion. First down 10 Carver. Whatever works, folks. Furr dropping to throw. Pressured. Complete. Twisting and turning Fortson. Still turning and going up near midfield.
And I believe that was Michael Clay, the extra man from Chamblee, Tommy, that they brought in, rushed the passer off the left end. Kind of shifted the defense. Everybody had to kind of shift to their right, and they left Fortson one-on-one.
This is under extreme duress. Great throw, low throw, but still a good one.
And because of the pressure, excuse me, Tommy, Chamblee was bringing, defensive backs got to play a little bit farther back because you don't want to get anything behind you.
Coach Del McGee on the sideline for Carver. Very concerned. Great throw. That's a 100-mile-an-hour fastball right there. Carlos Ross, the intended receiver. It might be a good thing he missed that one because it could have speared him in the numbers.
Watch this.
Yeah, watch it take off. Whoa.
Throwing through a tire there. The old backyard target practice.
Second down and 10 near midfield. No shortage of speed and athletic ability on this Carver offense. Furr dropping back, looking, isolating one-on-one. Fortson incomplete, down at about the 12.
Joshua Brown, the safety, if they are going to be successful with Fortson like that, you're going to need the safety to roll over, a little help side defense, to borrow a basketball term. Look at that ball, though. Look at that. That's a pretty ball. Might not have been completed.
Looks like he lost his footing about 10 yards back up the field.
Yeah.
Third and 10. 4 wides left, 1 right. Furr dropping back to throw. Good protection. Now breaking down, rolling, looking, caught, thrown, ball pops out. Chamblee picks it up. At the 38-yard line, Ryan Smith on the recovery.
There's the captain, 53 total tackles, 3rd on the team. He came in with 4 interceptions. We talked about him in the open, Tommy. The captain back on the defensive side for Chamblee. When you have a player like Ryan Smith, he's going to be the one to find the ball. He's going to be in the right place at the right time, and Furr does his best here, as you see on the replay. Had a man going, streaking over the middle, just trying to do maybe too much.
Artemis Norman knocked the ball loose. The protection was great, and then all of a sudden evaporated. Here's Chamblee in great position again, now back down at the 38. Short field once more. Williams barks his signals, hands to Jones. Across the left side, Carver jumps up in there and knocks him down.
Tommy, I want to go back to the Art Norman.
Carver turned it over twice today. No turnovers for Chamblee, and that's the difference in the ballgame right now.
Going back to the turnover Art Norman created. You know, you can do a lot of things if you're Art Norman, and he does. 5'11", 215 pounds, 14 tackles for a lost second on the team with 55 tackles. But when your brother is Warren Norman, sometimes it just kind of get overshadowed as a sophomore.
2nd down and 9. Chamblee. Full set wishbone. 2 tights. Carver at 5-4. Jones across the left side inside the 35.
McKenzie right there as he trying to bounce it off to the left side. Sitting in that 5-man front.
Good blocking up front by Chamblee. They are really getting after each other on those offensive and defensive lines. Just watch those Chamblee blocks. It's not just a Morje Uzi. He's doing a lot, but they're getting good help on both sides of the ball. Break the bone. 5-man front, toss sweep at the corner. Norman, 1st down, out of bounds. Just your basic toss sweep, Ryan.
Yeah, it was, and it was the blocking up front. Again, we don't want to harp on it too much. But Chamblee, you'll see Uzi and Brown, Tobias. And let Warren Norman do the rest. That buck sweep.
Alexander knocked him out of bounds. 1st down, Chamblee at the 16-yard line. Chamblee coming in 12-1. Chamblee 12-1. Carver 13-0.
The lone loss to Westminster 8-10. They followed that up with 2 40-point games to finish out the regular season.
Broken bone once more. 1st down, motion. Counter dive up the middle. Nothing there. Give was to Giles. Williams on the quick trap, and there was absolutely nothing there.
And you talked about it earlier in the first half, Tommy. You see the defense when they get that back against the wall. You're covering less space as a defense. You're allowed to maybe pack that 5-man front just a little bit tighter.
Bruno Riles, one of the first ones up in there. Broken bone, 2 tights. Williams checking off at the line of scrimmage. Running the options, pitch, touchdown. Bayah. Malcolm Bayah. 16-yard touchdown run. I'm telling you, Williams has done a clinic at quarterback today, folks, reading this defense. This option he has run today has been a thing of beauty. You saw him check off at the line of scrimmage. Change the play. Doan will attempt the point from placement. Williams to hole. Lines are down. Kick is up. And the kick is good. Chamblee 24. Carver 6. Chamblee has kept the ball away from Carver here in the 2nd half. Ryan, impressive drive once more.
Yeah, Bayah, kid is just phenomenal. Like I said earlier, leads the state in the 200 meters. It's, 150 more meters I've probably run in a while. 2:136. Sounds good to me. He showed it there, didn't he?
That is motoring.
Water bug speed, a friend of mine used to call it.
Yeah, I believe I've heard that before. And that is
that's
water
South
bug
Georgia
speed.
lingo, I believe.
There you go. That's water bugs. 5 plays, 38 yards, 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Bayah 15-yard run, and it didn't take him long to run the 15.
No. Cut that corner.
Doan will kick it off. And deep to receive. Bayah on the score.
If you're Coach McGee, you got to at least like the fact that you built an offense. They can't easily come back from this. You just got to get that ball down the field.
This is almost unbelievable. Nahan Doan just kicking it in the end zone. This is big time kicking here. He rocked it real good.
I think we were thinking or wondering aloud if he was going to be able to attempt a 42-yarder.
With 1:05 left in the third quarter, there has to be a little anxiousness on the Carver sideline, down 18 points to a Chamblee team which has kept the ball away from them. But they are big strike capability. Furr going to run the reverse to Carlos Ross. Artemis Norman on the stop up at the 23.
Ross has shown his speed all year. He's returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns, and here a little reverse from the end around from the slot. Wasn't fooled. There, the defensive end from Chamblee.
2nd down and 6. Sprint draw up across the 27 to Jarquez Morgan. Taylor Loffley on the stop. 3rd down and about 3.
Morgan had 4 carries in the first half. They really do a good job of sharing the distribution from the backfield, does Carver.
Wrong. Good throw into traffic. Sills batted it away. It actually looked like Furr had a completion out there throwing into traffic.
And it looked like he was almost throwing it. Looked
End
to be
of the third quarter. Chamblee leading 24-6. Fourth quarter still to come. Fourth down now and about 3. And Carver's going to go for it here as we begin the fourth quarter. Or are they going to kick it away? Now Fortson in a short punt formation. Gonna kick it away. Back near the 24-yard line where it'll roll dead. And Chamblee will take it over there at the 22. Chamblee leading 24-6. The wishbone has been a clinic today, Ryan.
Yeah, they've run it to perfection. They sure have, and it really comes under the direction of Coach Shoferty, but Mr. Williams back there captaining this offense from the quarterback position.
1st and 10 Chamblee at the 22-yard line. Carver tried the 4 for a while. Now they're trying the 5. It's actually basically the old Oklahoma 5-2 or 5-4. Break the bone. Williams with motion gives to the fullback. Giles up to about the 25 where Tavius Watts makes the stop.
When you see, Tommy, a team that likes to be very run heavy out of maybe the I formation, various formations, they use that passing game to kind of alleviate some of the pressure up front, but really the option kind of does that for you. It allows the safeties, or it does not allow the safeties, rather, on the defense to really step up, because there's what they're called, their safeties, playing safety valve, just in case somebody misses a tackle on that option.
This is exactly what Chamblee wants. They've got that ball possession offense and an 18-point lead. Full bone, 2 tights. Counter dive to Norman, especially when you've got speed running the wishbone. Yet another first down as Alex Williams makes the stop. Little counter dive right up the middle. You can't say enough about this Chamblee line of scrimmage, Ryan.
Yeah, that's where this game so far has been dominated. It's been up front. That time it's off the left side. The offense, Napier and Loffley. Smith over there at the guard.
Williams directing traffic. Motion, toss, sweep. Broke a tackle. Warren Norman. First down yardage across the 45 up to the 48-yard line.
Again, you can't say enough about the ability to block from everybody, not only the offensive line. You'll see Bea lined up here at the wing. Watch him take that seal block right there. That would have been the tackle that would have done it and would have put him back at the line of scrimmage and turns what would have been maybe a yard or two pickup to another big play for Chamblee.
LaRon Furr on the stop. First down once more for Chamblee. 12 carries, 80 yards, and 1 touchdown. Norman's had a great day. Flag goes down.
They say 12.
As the pitch goes to Baya.
Excuse me, Tommy. They say 12 carries, 84 yards for Norman.
12 carries.
Hey, he's actually down from his average, I think, from 200 yards last week. He may beat himself up a little bit over this game.
Ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still be first down.
We've not had the big penalties today.
No.
A lot of motion.
It's been motion stuff. But getting back to Norman, 577 yards through 3 rounds of the playoffs. It make you shake your head. 11 touchdowns. So you think today's performance has been good.
I am just so impressed with the offensive and defensive lines of both these football teams. 2 tights, motion. Counter trap to Malcolm Giles up near the 50. This is exactly what Chamblee wants to do.
Yeah, it is. Run the ball, control the clock. A double-digit lead at 2-possession or over 2-possession lead plays very good when you're in the 4th quarter, 9 minutes to go, and you're running that triple option. Just keep running that clock.
You feel pretty confident when you've got the ball and you're heading
Yes,
downhill. Full bone, 2 tights. Williams looks over a 5-man front. Ooh. Baya.
That play busted up immediately. Baya had a hard time, I think, taking the pitch, as we'll see here on the replay. Made the correct read, but Baya just had not caught up to the play, so to speak.
Maybe a toss a little bit in front of him. And maybe that closing defensive
And that's an
end.
angle. That's an angle. I mean, he had kind of run maybe flat with the line of scrimmage rather than maybe trying to pursue or turn that corner a little early.
And if you're a wishbone team, you don't want to see this. 3rd and long. 3rd and 16. Williams. Pitches to Norman. Bruno Riles once more on the stop. Excellent defensive section of the game for Carver right here.
Yeah, Riles did a good job of extending his arms on the blockers. You'll see right there, right out of your screen. Extended those elbows, fought off his blocker. It was right there in the backfield to make the play.
Giles will kick it away. Ross is deep to receive, back at about the 26.
We've called Riles his name all day today, haven't we?
He's been everywhere. Good snap, going for the block. Got it away. High kick. Back at the 33. I tell you what, Carlos Ross was very close to the football, and I would imagine.
And there were some Chamblee players maybe fighting for a maybe touch there. I don't know. Yeah,
almost blocked it. Look at it. Whoa, just missed it. That was close.
Yeah, it was.
Three wides to the left, 1 to the right. Furr rolling, looking, throwing, complete. Excellent move by Fortson. Fortson down to the 23. Flag goes down. Dakari Penn on the stop for Chamblee.
I think Fortson was making sure that everyone knew that it was the face mask. And he fights for it, doesn't he? He fights for every bit of the yardage he picks up. It's that yak that they like to call it, the yards after catch. He does a good job of finding it.
Face mask on blue on the defense. Half the distance to go. First down.
44-yard reception. Let's take a look at it again. Furr thrown off the back foot. Nice spin move.
Almost just a 12-yard comeback, and then everything he gets after yards of the catch. Look at that, just the stiff arm. Look at that stiff arm. That is some upper body strength for Fortson. And he has lived up to the billing so far today.
And that's some speed on that carpet too. Furr dropping, throwing, could be another one. Yes. Had him there. Fortson in the end zone. Bryant Henry on the cover down at the goal line.
Henry, the junior, may have had too much of the hand action. It looked like it was tipped. Just a little collision there.
Pass interference on the defense. Half the distance is a goal. Automatic first down.
Like the ball was tipped from the line of scrimmage.
Mr. Furr can fire it in there. 2 wides left. Furr going to run to the left. Not much there. Fighting for yardage back at about the 8-yard line. Not much there.
And then to the short side of the field, Tommy. That somewhat surprising. You have to really cut your angles down when you're going to go to the short side of the field on a sweep or a quarterback draw like this.
Chamblee pursuit on defense was great.
That's a big possession for Carver.
Very big. Furr in a hurry. Looking, throwing, complete. Down to about the 1-yard line to Carlos Ross. 3rd and goal.
Ross has been a very good target for Furr today. The confidence that Furr has back in the, he's going to be something, isn't he?
Excellent. Down to the 2. Furr in a hurry. Touchdown. Just on the quarterback draw, just right up the middle.
Fans calling for 2, doing a little coaching up there in the stands, trying to call for 2.